What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and why I believe that tomorrow NIO is going to have one slight pullback before this thing explodes and goes parabolic, and I'm extremely bullish for the next upcoming weeks. I'm going to show you exactly why. I'm going to show you my price prediction for tomorrow and where I see NIO going and what's going on tomorrow with the FOMC meeting and also what NIO put on their Twitter page. That's extremely bullish news for the long-term future of this company. Now, before I break any of this down, before I get into any more details about what's going on with NIO, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull with the link down below and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You are guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you can always sell those 5 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares for free. This is a limited time offer that ends in just 9 days, so please check it out to get your free NIO shares. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So anyways, looking at NIO, we can see this thing was just barely in the green, and I did anticipate a slight pullback coming today. However, the market looks a lot better than I expected, and it looks like the market is starting the recovery phase a lot earlier than many of us had thought, because typically when we have FOMC meetings, the market takes a bit of a hit on the first day, and by the second day, we recover. That's what's been happening for many months. And ultimately, this month, the recovery almost appeared to start. We ended up dropping today, right? Then we got a bit of a recovery during the same day. So it happened a little bit sooner, or I mean earlier than expected, but that's still a pretty good sign for other companies like NIO. And that's an indicator that NIO is about to go parabolic. So before I talk about that, let's talk about what's going on with the FOMC meeting. Basically, it's the big meeting where the Fed announces their changes to monetary policy through their open market operations. And as they do this, the big thing on everyone's minds, it's not about what they're going to do with their balance sheet or other things like that. That's not as important. The big thing is, what are they doing with the basis point rate hikes? To what degree are they going to be raising rates? Are they going to increase the federal funds rate by 25 basis points, 75, 50 basis points? And right now, many analysts have stated that there's a 98 to 99% chance it's going to be a 50 basis point rate hike. That seems almost certain at this point, but it's not 100% certain until Jerome Powell announces it. So we're almost there. We're super close. But here's what you need to know. If he announces, hypothetically, a 25 basis point rate hike, which is just a fancy way of saying a 0.25% hike in the rate, this means that the market would rally really hard because the Fed would be a lot less hawkish, they'd be less strict on policy, the cost to borrow money would not be as high or dramatic. So as a result, a lot of investors would pour money into stocks and the market would rally really hard. Now, that's extremely unlikely. As many analysts have stated, there's less than a 1% chance of that happening. The second possibility is, what if it's a 75 basis point rate hike or a 0.75 percentage point hike? If it's a 75 basis point rate hike, the market would crash because Jerome Powell would technically be surprising us because next to no one really expects that. And the thing is, in his nature, Powell does not surprise us often. He does not want to crash the market. So I see that as very unlikely. Like I said before, analysts said there's less than a 1% chance of that happening. So what's most likely going to happen is a 50 basis point rate hike. And that is the Fed being a little bit more hawkish, but not super hawkish. So that would be very good for the market, in my opinion. So what I think could end up happening is, I think because of what many analysts have stated, and because of Jerome Powell's more dovish nature, or at least his nature that's less likely to surprise us, I think he's going to announce a 50 basis point rate hike. In fact, most analysts seem to already think that, and we're already seeing the market kind of responding to that. So what I expect to happen because of this, because of the fact that the market's so comfortable, I expect once Powell starts speaking, the market's going to be very choppy. We might get a slight pullback. And then when he's done talking, when he announces 50 basis points, the market's going to rally because the market loves certainty. The market loves to confirm these expectations. That's how the market has been functioning. If you don't believe me, look at the last time this happened, right? If I bring up the daily candles, right? Go back to when was that? March of 2022. right here. The FOMC meeting last time was on March 16th. You could see NIO crashed to 13 bucks a share. We were at 13. FOMC meeting is happening. Powell announced the 25 basis point rate hike. NIO was in the $16 range. All of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, we pushed all the way up to 24. We saw this nice jump right here after he announced that. Right now, the meeting is coming, and we can see NIO went from 23 all the way down to that 15. We went as low as 15.91. And what's going to happen again? I think the exact same thing is going to happen. I think NIO is going to rally after. I think the market's going to be very bullish for the next upcoming weeks. I don't think it's going to last forever, but I do think it's going to come for just a few weeks. And as a result, I'm super, super bullish. So why do I think this? Well, the market likes certainty, but also to what degree is NIO going to run? What's going to happen tomorrow? So let me bring up actually the 5 minute candles would be a lot better because the chart looks too small. So I have key support and resistance levels all around here. I have nothing else in the charts besides these important dates. In fact, I could actually, let me see, try to delete some of these because these don't even matter, these white lines right here. This is just the time the FOMC meeting started. So far, we've been pretty sideways. I expect when Jerome Powell starts speaking, NIO is going to trade sideways, kind of like this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I don't want this to be too small, so let me make this a little bigger. So I would expect this. Let me bring this up real quick. Okay, so what could happen is NIO is like this. We open, we push to the upside, then slowly we're going to start dropping. Powell starts speaking. Jerome Powell starts announcing some things, or the time that it starts, we're going to get a pullback. How low? We could fall to the 16s. We may go as low as 16.6. Then he announces the rate hike, and then the whole market just goes parabolic. It starts rallying. Then NIO starts pushing and pushing and pushing all the way back up, closing in the green, perhaps. Then the next day comes, and slowly, I would expect this thing to just slowly start climbing and climbing and climbing going forward, kind of like this, right? So I'm going to be very bullish for the next few days. If I bring up the daily charts, let me just do that real quick. And then I think this looks kind of weird, but anyways, you guys can tell what I'm trying to show you. I expect very bullish price action coming up quite soon. I think NIO is going to start rallying pretty soon. If this thing starts running up, remember we have resistance at $17.76, resistance at 18, resistance at 18.5, then resistance at 19. So be on the lookout for that. But like I said before, it looks very bullish because one last thing to talk about is the 5 minute candles. Look at this upward trend that is starting. You can see NIO starting to trend in the upwards direction. I mean, I could actually draw a trend line like this. You could see we're starting to go up and up and up. And this thing wants to run after being oversold on the RSI for so long. I mean, I could actually bring up the RSI. Look at the daily candle. You could see NIO was oversold back in the 13s and pushed up. Now it's not too far from that oversold territory. I mean, we saw this thing with the 30 RSI, 20 RSI. It's pushing back up and it wants to start running. So anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. On April 29th, on the anniversary, the first anniversary of the official construction kickoff of NIO Park, the first tooling trial builds of NIO ET5 rolled off the production line, marking the completion of the production line at the base and ready for production validation. So NIO is now working on trials for the ET5. Fantastic news. The ET5 is going to be a killer in China, and I'm extremely excited for what ends up coming for the company. So long term, super bullish. Short term, I expect a bit of a rally for the next few weeks. I do think that we're going to see a reversal after. So maybe when NIO hits the $20 range, 25, between 20 and 25, we get a bit of a reversal by the time we get to June. And then we just kind of trade in this channel for the next few months before this thing starts to really, really run to the upside as things start to improve for the company and as the market begins to improve. So for the next 12 months, I'm pretty bullish for the market still. I don't think this is the end of the world. If you look at this from a MACD perspective on the daily candles, we're slowly starting to curl. We're slowly starting to build that upward momentum. And it seems like we got our balance and we're ready to start rallying very, very soon. On the 2 hour candle, you could see it's already showing that bullish momentum. So NIO looks bullish. I think the next few weeks are going to be bullish and things are looking amazing. So anyways, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day and I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon and peace out.